and gals, Miss Dawson here. Today we are going to talk about Mexico's independence from Spain. Okay, so as we were learning, the Spanish explorers sent people from Spain down to discover the New World, which was Texas and Mexico, and they started their own colony there, okay? Well, it wasn't going too great because there was a person who was called a viceroy, and his job was to be the representative for the King of Spain. So whatever he thought the King of Spain wanted him to do, that's what he would do. Well, the viceroy down in Mexico, he made the people that lived there pay a whole bunch of taxes. So taxes means they would earn money and they'd have to pay that money to the government. Now, taxes aren't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you pay money to the government and that money is used to build schools or to fix roads or to take care of the people. What the viceroy was doing with the Tejanos taxes is he was sending it back to Spain because Spain was fighting in a lot of wars. So the money from the Mexicans and the Tejanos was being sent back to Spain. It wasn't even like it was being used for them. So they were very upset when the viceroy made that decision. Another thing that the viceroy would do is he would take their food. So they would have farms where they would grow corn and squash and pumpkins, and he would take it. So he would organize groups that would come and they would take the food from the farmers, from the Tejanos, from the Mexicans. And whenever there was a particularly bad harvest, he didn't care. The viceroy would come take their food anyways. Well, the people in Mexico were getting pretty fed up about this. So they said, we are going to have a revolution. Revolution. A revolution is where a group of people come together and they try and overthrow the government. So they said, we're sick of this viceroy. We're sick of Spain. We want to be free. We want to be independent. Okay? So their revolution was happening, and it started with a man named Father Hidalgo, or Hidalgo. And he was called Father because he was a Catholic priest, so his job was to run a Catholic church. So Father Hidalgo, in the year 1810, he declared freedom. He said, death to bad government. So he gathered a group of people and he said, death to bad government. We, as Mexicans and as Tejanos, we are declaring our freedom from Spain. So that happened in 1810. Well, Spain hears about this and they're like, we're not too happy about that. We're going to send our best armies there to fight you. So even though Spain had really nothing to gain by fighting Mexico, they said, no, we want to be in charge of you still. Okay, that's called colonialism. They didn't care that they were way over off in Europe. They said, we still want to be in charge of you. We're still going to control what you do. And Mexico said, no, you're not. So Spain sent their best soldiers. They had bigger weapons. They had more weapons. They had more training. They had more people. And they fought these poor Mexican rebels, all right? They fought for over 10 years. For 10 years, they were going back and forth, fighting across Texas, fighting across Mexico. In that 10-year time frame, they captured Father Hidalgo and killed him. So even though he was really just fighting for his people, Spain didn't care. They said, we're capturing you and we're killing you. Even though Father Hidalgo had unfortunately passed away, his message lived on. So the rebels continued fighting. And then finally, in 1821, Mexico finally beats Spain. Mexico wins. Yay. Yay. They said, we are no longer under your rule. We get to take care of ourselves. So that was the goal. So that was Spain's, Mexico's, and Texas's battle that was fought in the early 1800s, okay? If you have any questions, you can always look up more details. This is just a very brief history. I'm sure there's so many more important people and events that happened, but in a nutshell, this is Mexico's independence from Spain.